In a stunning twist, Arizona Senator John McCain has announced that he will be suspending his presidential campaign to focus on the country's current economic crisis. Senator McCain also announced his request to have Friday's presidential debate postponed until after an agreement on the controversial Wall Street rescue plan could be reached. Senator McCain made his surprise announcement before a stunned crowd in New York City.
Tomorrow morning, I'll suspend my campaign and return to Washington after speaking at the Clinton Global Initiative. I've spoken to Senator Obama and informed him of my decision, and I've asked him to join me. We must meet as Americans, not as Democrats or Republicans, and we must meet until this crisis is resolved. I'm directing my campaign to work with the Obama campaign and the Commission on Presidential Debates to delay Friday night's debate until we have taken action to address this crisis. Americans across our country lament the fact that partisan divisions in Washington have prevented us from addressing our national challenges. Now is our chance to come together to prove that Washington is once again capable of leading this country.
Senator Obama responded in a late afternoon news conference. Obama was careful in his remarks but managed to slide in a few subtle political jabs. The Democratic nominee emphasized that the next president of the United States would be required to handle more than one task at a time and made clear that the American people now more than ever needed this debate to take place.
I think the important principle at this point is to send a clear signal to members of Congress, as well as the country, that this is a serious problem that has to be solved and should not be subject to the usual partisan politics. With respect to the debates, it's my belief that this is exactly the time when the American people need to hear from the person who, in approximately 40 days, will be responsible for dealing with this mess. And I think that it is going to be part of the president's job to deal with more than one thing at once. I think there's no reason why we can't be constructive in helping to solve this problem and also tell the American people what we believe and where we stand and where we want to take the country. So in my mind, actually, it's more important than ever that we present ourselves to the American people and try to describe where we want to take the country and where we want to take the economy, as well as dealing with some of the issues of foreign policy that were initially the subject of the debate.
Both Democrats and Republicans have come out in full force to manage the day's spin. Democrats like New York Senator Chuck Schumer and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid have both come out to criticize McCain's request and virtually called it a political stunt.
With all due respect to my friend John McCain, we're doing just fine. We should not have presidential politics enter what we're doing here. There's enough going on with presidential politics that we don't need that. The debate should go forward. I've said that to him. I believe that. It appears to me that John McCain is trying to divert attention to his failing campaign, and coming back here is not going to add to the process. 85% of the American people will watch that debate Friday night. He can spare an hour and a half of his time and participate in that debate.
Right-leaning cable news outlet Fox News offered a parade of analysts applauding the move and accused Obama of playing partisan games at a time when the nation was in economic crisis.
And this is just vintage John McCain. He's going to put the country first and suspend the campaign just the way we suspended the Republican convention when natural disaster threatened the country. Well, again, this is the man who said, I'd rather lose an election than lose a war. Senator McCain's entire life is a testimony to putting this country first, and that's what he's doing right now. And that's really, if you look back throughout his career, some of the times he's ruffled the most feathers is when he's identified a problem, a legitimate challenge that needed to be met, and it needed to be met in a nonpartisan manner, and so he didn't matter what China got broken as long as the problem was solved. And what he's doing right now is saying we've just got to set aside the politics and solve the problem for this country. Nobody deserves this job, the job of commander-in-chief and president, if they're not willing to put the interests of the country first.
For more on this story, including the day's press conferences and fallout from both sides of the aisle, visit www.clmnews.com and click on Politics. Make clmnews.com your new daily home for all news and election coverage. For clmnews.com, I'm Will Darius.